Hello everybody, welcome to WineUpTV. I am your host Wayne and I'm standing in the Sandberg Vineyard in the Iota Hills. We're going to talk to Don and his wife Johanna. They make a great product called Iota Pinot Noir. When we come back, we're going to sit down and have a little fireside chat. See you soon. Hey everybody, welcome back to WineUpTV. I am here with Johanna and Don Sandberg, and we are at Iota Cellars. Notice a beautiful piece of property. Guys, tell us a little bit about what a cool wine you guys are making.
Oh, Brad. Do you want to start with the name, Iota? And
well, yeah, I guess we can start there. Iota is just a reference to basically a small amount of something, which it means. Everything we do is a small amount. We keep our crop yields down very low.
Lots of thinning.
Lots of thinning. We drop a lot of fruit.
To concentrate flavors. And
exactly. It's all very important. We bring the wine into the winery and we ferment in small lots, small fermenters. When we're done with that, we put it in small barrels, 60-gallon barrels.
This is kind of exciting. You just built a new winery right here. It's very small. Yep. Your maximum capacity, we're saying about 1,500 cases? 1,500
cases, yeah. It's built around the size of the vineyard.
And your vineyard, again, is?
11.5 acres, all Pinot Noir. There are 4 clones of Pinot Noir, Pommard, there's Vadensville, and there's 777 and 667 Dijons.
Great. Yeah, you know, we were just a few minutes ago walking up through the vineyards, and the elevation goes from, what, about 300 to 500 feet?
We're at about 300 right now, and the vineyards go up to 4-something, and the property goes up to almost 6.
Which is a nice zone to be in for ripening in Oregon, so that was part of what
plus,
attracted us.
I noticed you got the westerly winds coming here, also the Van Duzer corridor that you were talking about earlier.
And that helps cool us in the evenings pretty consistently, and it helps the grapes to retain some of their acidity that we love to have in our Pinots. Great structural component.
Now, one thing we were talking about, and we were very passionate about, soil. You know, I know your wife said, hey, come on, we'll get him started.
I got him going.
Tell us a little bit about the soil, the composition. You know, when we were walking through the vineyards, I was very impressed on all the different types of soil. It's just right here on this property.
Yeah, well, every block varies just a little bit. Being in the elevation of 300 to 500 feet, you're kind of weaving in and out of sedimentary and volcanic soils. And they're very different soils. The volcanics are loaded with basalt. They tend to be just a little bit deeper, but there's a bedrock of basalt rock that the roots have to tap into. So that's a great component to have in in some of the blocks. We've also got sedimentary, which tend to be shallower, and they are the subsoil on that goes down to a shale, which is it's kind of like sandstone or siltstone, but it's even denser. It's like a chalk.
Yeah, I like going up there, walking through and picking up some of those sandstone chunks and breaking them apart.
Exactly, it just crumbles.
It just crumbles, and of course, you know, soil plays a very integral part of growing grapes and making great wine.
Right.
And picking out this vineyard location must have taken a little bit of time.
It did. We looked at a lot of properties, and I honestly...
we spent close to 2 years to find the right piece.
Yeah, we looked at a lot, and
in on
this one didn't strike me at first because it's a little bit unusual. It's not textbook as far as south-east slopes and stuff that are ideal textbook-wise. Yeah, it rolls, and it's got a lot of different aspects. It's irregular shaped. It's not a big square, so it's not like you know, Stoller or something that's large and square that is easier to farm. It's long and narrow and goes way back. And
so
it's a challenge, and it
is challenging.
But
and also,
it's part of what makes it fun.
You're at the southernmost part of the Iota Hills, or right here. Not southernmost part, but the northern Willamette Valley.
We have a little bit more of that maritime influence. We're closer to the coastals, and we actually a lot of our vineyard blocks face the coastal mountains more.
Yeah.
So that was another component or aspect of the piece that we really liked.
You know, traveling around with my tour company of all the different regions in the northern Willamette Valley, whether it be Dundee Hills or Yamhill Carlton, I've always been impressed with the fruit here in the Iota Hills. I think for some reason the grapes tend to be a little bit more firm. if that makes any sense. It's just
I think it's structure. I think that the soils lend to that. I think that they're shallower here, and they're very eroded. There's a lot of nacai and sedimentary soils that are thin, and so those roots are really struggling to get through all of that subsoil.
And then the payoff is as they age, hopefully you're getting more of those components that are taken up by the
time will
roots
tell.
and the plants. Yes, yes.
Time will tell.
And we're hoping we're off to a good start here. That's
yeah,
what we're
2010.
thinking. So,
this is very interesting. Really wet spring, cooler summer, a little heat spike last week. Supposed to be warm again this weekend.
Yeah.
Thank goodness the grapes need it.
Yeah,
I had your 2007 on my show about a month ago. Very impressed with it. You know, it was a vintage that the critics didn't like as much. I think it was definitely a winemaker's vintage. If you're a good winemaker, you're going to make good wine kind of vintage. And now we have the 08. It hasn't been released yet, so we get to tease you a little bit having some 08s. But again, they need to open up a little bit. But let's see how this 07's kind of turning out. It's
well, it's had well over a year in the bottle, and so we really found that, especially over the summer, it really turned that corner that we as winemakers really liked. A lot of times you are pushing your wines out the door a little bit sooner than you would like to as a winemaker, because there's always that marketing sales component. People have to get it in their hands before the hot weather, and when you can no longer ship it to them so they can enjoy it. Right now, in the kind of the fun summer season with good food, and we're really loving the way it's come together. We really feel like all of the components have really integrated well at this point, and we're getting a little bit of tertiary development in there. A lot of times people tell us there's a real nice undercurrent of sagebrush or like dusty rose petal, which a lot of times you find on the nose. And, when imbibing the wine.
I really like the 07, and it, $36 a bottle?
$36 a bottle.
It's a very affordable Oregon Pinot Noir at this caliber. It's these guys are smart. They're keeping the wines accessible to everybody, as opposed to some other wineries, a little bit more expensive here and there.
Well, we try to really, in our techniques and what we do, mimic a lot, and we really have kind of a lot of the same. We take the time and the care that a lot of, I think, Pinots that are made at a much higher price point, we really try to work the same way and use the same type of techniques.
Sure.
Really, our wood program, everything about it. So hopefully people will discover something at this price point that they like and that they want to kind of continue revisiting from vintage to vintage.
I like that word, revisit. That's a great word, especially when you're in a tasting room.
Yeah.
On the 2007, very Oregondian. Like we were talking about earlier. It's not Burgundy. It's not. It's like Oregondian. It's very, very earthy, a little minerally. I like it. I like the style. I like the flavor profiles. Let's talk about the 08.
Sure.
Let's get into this for a minute. This is exciting stuff. 08 touted as probably the greatest vintage ever so far in the Willamette Valley. It's only a 45-year run on vintages, let's get this little smell.
Yeah.
Complete difference.
Yeah.
Just a complete difference,
It's a little tighter, I think, on the nose, but on the palate, I think you're gonna.
Well, it has a little bit more weight than like the 07 does. And again, we haven't released it. We're planning on releasing it in the fall. But again, I think for such a young vintage, it's really integrating a lot faster than the 07 definitely did.
No, this is
a lot more fruit. It's a little more showy than the 07. I think the 07 tends to be a little more subtle, and it's very fruit friendly. The 08 is a little bit more of a showstopper on its own, at least by our standards.
And we were talking about the 09s in barrel.
Yeah.
You said that they're turning out just to be just super.
Yeah, I think so. There's they've got a lot of fruit. They're very nicely structured. I think they're going to be great from what I've seen.
Yeah.
When I was up at Bergstrom, last fall, just after the harvest and after the primary fermentation was done, he's putting the juice in barrel. And he said, "Taste this." I was just blown away on how good it already was without it even going in the barrel yet.
We have two really great vintages coming up here in Oregon. The heat definitely was a little bit of a challenge in 09, but I think as long as you picked at the right time, you were able to get that flavor development and still have a nice acid backbone, which is what you always really want with Pinot. I think a lot of Pinot's ageability is, unlike other varietals, is really based on its acidity versus just its tannin structure. And so we really are kind of believers in that. And we're making wine, hopefully, that people can access right away and enjoy, but also that if they want to put a bottle or two away in their cellar, hopefully it will age and develop in a different direction that they'll enjoy. So.
This is, yeah, these wines, these are just fantastic experiences. Just the 07, 08, side by side differences, the acidity structure in the 08, very, I mean, just the long finish. I mean, just you swallow it, it goes. It just goes. And these wines, I think, good 10 years. You know, I'm not a big fan of aging wines forever.
Right.
I like the fruitier components of a wine. But
and that's what it is. You want to be able to drink it right away and enjoy it if that's what
these wines will be in the wine shop, Wine Up, downtown Portland here soon. But just a fantastic program.
Thanks.
Guys, this has been great. You know, thanks for sharing.
And we've loved having you out. And
yeah, definitely.
Thanks. And you know, this may be one of the by appointment only places for people to come out here that want to do something different, want to do something really cool. I could always make that phone call. I got some of these really amazing winemakers and winery owners' names in my cell phone. That's what makes WineUpTV so exciting. But guys, thank you very much.
Thanks,
and we will have a great fall, a great harvest, and we'll see you guys soon.
Absolutely. Sounds
Excellent.
great. Thanks.
When we come back, we're going to go to another winery and meet another winemaker. Lucky you guys. See ya.